My name is Ben Jackson. Today I'll be your tool guide for this episode of The Art of Doing. Today I'm going to be showing you how to change out a blade on a chop saw or a miter saw. I got this old bad boy from a great friend of mine and kind of kicked off my journey into some woodworking. And yes, this is a ultra dangerous death saw without the guard here. It is unplugged, and of course, before you change a blade, make sure everything is unplugged. A quick safety check. Definitely power off. So the first thing you're going to do is take off your safety guard, which is already off for me. Now most saws are going to be fairly the same. They might take a slightly different size wrench to do this, but the concept's going to be the same for just about every brand of chop saw. This is a Porter cable saw, and it served me quite well. I'm going to use a 1/2-inch wrench to take off or loosen this bolt here, which loosens this shroud. And almost all saws will come with the wrench that you need to take off these pieces. Mine is right here. Just as easy for me to use my own wrench on this. So loosen this up, pull the shroud out of the way, and you'll see the same sized bolt down here. Now when you go to turn this, the blade is going to spin. You'll see on this other side, hopefully you get a little close-up of this, there's always going to be some sort of a button or stop somewhere on the saw, usually somewhere near the handle, that will stop the blade from spinning. So you depress this button and you'll see these little divots. When this button hits one of these divots, it locks. And then you can start loosening the blade. I'll be swapping it out today for this Diablo PVC blade. As you can see, it also chops aluminum, brass, copper, some other softer metals. I'll mainly be using it for PVC, but this is the blade I'm going to swap it out for. You take your replacement blade. The only thing that you have to be concerned about putting this back on is that you're going in the correct angle of rotation. The teeth in the rotation arrow want to face towards the saw. Usually the writing is also to the left side, the open side of the saw, away from the handle. I don't know if that's always the case, but it is very important, obviously, for safety and for the functioning of your saw to put it on the correct way. So you slide this up into the shroud, and there should be a recessed spot on this auger that will accept the blade. Then when you put this cap over, it also should be keyed, so it's only going to go on in one way. Oops. If you see that, it's keyed so it's only going to go on in one way. Then you put your bolt back in, and from there you're just doing the steps in reverse. Again, remember that this bolt goes in the opposite direction. I just tried to thread it the correct direction again. Once you get it hand tightened, find your stop button again. And oh my goodness. Well, it looks like the stop button on this saw isn't compatible with this saw blade. But we're going to have to improvise. So I'll use a pair of vise grips to clamp this blade and hold it steady while I tighten it down nice and tight. And if for whatever reason your stop button isn't working or your blade isn't compatible, this trick could always work. And for this, I'm just using my Craftsman vice grips. Then you just pull the shroud down, use the same wrench, get that tightened down, you're good to go. Make sure it spins. If you want to see how this blade works, take a look at this video and I'll review this blade. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let's always remember to practice compassion, practice kindness, and practice humility. Thanks for being with me to help me practice the art of doing.